Do not buy an as-is house until you know this. If you are a property investor or homeowner considering an as-is purchase, what I'm about to share could save you between $45,000 and $120,000 in undisclosed repairs, legal battles, and destroyed equity. This is not generic real estate advice you'd find in a first-time buyer's guide. This is the same risk analysis framework that experienced real estate attorneys and seasoned investors use to evaluate distressed properties, the kind of strategic intelligence that typically costs $300 an hour in a legal consultation. An as-is purchase represents one of the highest risk transactions in residential real estate, and the legal protections you think you're getting from standard contract language often evaporate the moment you discover what the seller actively concealed. Over the next 15 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the hidden structural, legal, and financial exposures that destroy as-is deals, the specific due diligence protocols that protect sophisticated investors, and the exact scenarios where walking away is the only rational decision regardless of how good the price appears on paper. Most property owners approach as-is sales with a fundamental misunderstanding of what's actually being transferred. You're not simply buying a house in its current condition. You're accepting a comprehensive legal transfer of risk from the seller to you. This distinction changes everything about how you must conduct your evaluation. When a seller includes as-is language in a purchase agreement, they're invoking a specific legal mechanism. They're explicitly disclaiming any warranties about the property's condition, habitability, or fitness for your intended purpose. In most jurisdictions, this waiver is enforceable and significantly limits your recourse after closing. What most buyers miss is this. While as-is clauses protect sellers from claims about known defects they've disclosed or conditions you could have discovered through reasonable inspection, they don't provide blanket immunity. Sellers cannot waive liability for fraudulent misrepresentation, active concealment, or violations of mandatory disclosure laws. Here's where conventional wisdom fails you. Many buyers hear as-is and assume inspections are optional or less critical. The opposite is true. Professional inspections become more essential, not less, precisely because you're waiving your right to demand repairs. But there's a deeper layer most property analyses miss entirely. Sellers marketing as-is properties often possess inspection reports, contractor estimates, or engineering assessments they obtained during their ownership. In many states, they're not legally required to provide these to you. They can sit on a structural engineer's report documenting foundation failure or a mold remediation estimate, and unless specific questions trigger mandatory disclosure requirements, that information remains concealed. Your inspection isn't just discovering the property's condition. It's uncovering information asymmetry that favors the seller. The financial anatomy of as-is properties operates on 3 distinct tiers, and your budget must account for all 3 simultaneously. The first tier is immediate safety and habitability repairs, items that must be addressed before you can occupy the property or place tenants. Electrical systems that don't meet current code, HVAC systems that are non-functional, active water intrusion, or structural instability all fall into this category. The second tier is deferred maintenance, the accumulation of repairs the previous owner postponed. Roofs beyond their service life, aging plumbing systems, deteriorating siding, outdated windows. These items might not fail immediately, but they represent liabilities that compress your timeline and reduce your operational flexibility. The third tier, and the one most buyers catastrophically underestimate, is code compliance upgrades. When you purchase property, you often trigger reassessment under current building codes. That electrical panel installed in 1975 might have been compliant then, but modern code requires arc fault breakers, proper grounding, and adequate amperage for contemporary loads. Municipalities can and do require updates before issuing occupancy permits or approving rental licenses. We're talking about $15,000 to $40,000 in electrical work alone in older properties. Consider water intrusion for a moment, one of the most common and expensive hidden conditions. Surface evidence might show minor staining or slight discoloration. What you can't see without invasive inspection is the extent of framing damage, insulation saturation, or mold growth within wall cavities. A visible $800 cosmetic repair can conceal $18,000 in structural remediation. This is why your due diligence protocol must go far beyond standard home inspections. The inspection architecture for as-is properties requires specialist engagement. A generalist home inspector provides valuable surface-level assessment, but you need specialized evaluations. A structural engineer for foundation and framing integrity, an environmental specialist for mold, asbestos, and lead paint assessment, a licensed plumber for sewer scope inspection. Lateral line failures alone average $7,000 to $12,000 to repair. You need a roofing contractor, not just an inspector's visual assessment from the ground. You need permit history research to identify unpermitted work that could complicate your title or trigger costly compliance corrections. Each specialist inspection costs between $300 and $800. Your total pre-purchase investigation might run $4,000 to $6,000. That feels expensive until you recognize its insurance against $50,000 to $100,000 in undiscovered liabilities. The mechanism that most protects you is understanding financing realities and how they create leverage even in as-is transactions. If you're using conventional financing, your lender will require an appraisal. Appraisers assess value based on condition, and significant deferred maintenance or safety issues can result in a value substantially below your offer price. This gives you contractual grounds to renegotiate or exit, even with as-is language, because your financing contingency remains operative. FHA loans won't approve financing for properties that don't meet minimum property standards. Even as-is sellers face reality here. If the property can't qualify for financing that most buyers need, the pool of potential purchasers shrinks to cash buyers, dramatically reducing leverage. The $203K renovation loan program allows you to finance both purchase and rehabilitation, but requires detailed contractor estimates and architectural plans before approval. What this means for your position: cash buyers have substantial advantage in as-is transactions, but not because they can move faster. Cash position allows you to purchase properties that can't qualify for traditional financing, negotiate harder on price knowing the seller's options are limited, and control the renovation timeline without lender oversight. Here's the distinction that changes everything about exit strategy protection. Whether you're buying to flip, convert to rental income, or hold for appreciation, undiscovered conditions destroy your timeline and profitability metrics. A flip budgeted for 60 days and $30,000 in renovation costs becomes a 6-month nightmare with $80,000 in expenses when you discover foundation issues. Your carrying costs, mortgage, insurance, taxes, utilities, continue accruing while you're not generating revenue or able to list for sale. Rental investors face additional complexity. Many municipalities require rental licenses or certificates of occupancy before you can legally place tenants. Inspectors evaluate properties against current code during this process. The furnace that's still operating but is 30 years old? It likely won't pass inspection, and you'll be required to replace it before your rental license is approved. Your property sits vacant, generating negative cash flow while you fund mandatory upgrades. The critical framework for decision-making comes down to 3 questions that determine whether an as-is property aligns with your actual risk tolerance, not the risk tolerance you imagine you have when looking at an attractive price point. First, what is the maximum capital you can lose on this transaction without materially impacting your financial stability? Not what you're comfortable spending, what you can afford to lose if everything goes wrong. Because in as-is transactions, the downside case must inform your decision more heavily than the upside potential. Second, do you have the specialized team already in place to conduct forensic-level due diligence? Not a home inspector you found online, a structural engineer, environmental specialist, specialized contractors who can provide renovation estimates you can rely on for budgeting. If you're assembling this team for the first time during a compressed inspection period, you're already operating at a disadvantage. Third, does your timeline accommodate the worst-case scenario? Can you sustain 6 to 12 months of carrying costs if major undiscovered conditions emerge? Most buyers optimize for the best case. Sophisticated investors plan for the worst case and get pleasantly surprised when reality falls somewhere in between. Your financial reserves formula for as-is properties should hold liquid capital equal to a minimum of 25% of the purchase price, separate from your down payment and closing costs. This isn't renovation budget. This is contingency for unknowns. If you're purchasing a $200,000 as-is property, you need $50,000 in accessible reserves before you should even consider making an offer. The contingencies that provide exit ramps despite as-is language are primarily inspection-based and financing-based. Your purchase agreement should include a comprehensive inspection contingency with adequate time, minimum 15 days, preferably 21, to conduct all specialist evaluations. The financing contingency remains your safety mechanism if appraisal comes in low due to condition issues. One additional protection that sophisticated buyers build in: the right to conduct invasive or destructive testing during the inspection period. Standard inspections are visual and non-invasive. When you suspect concealed damage, you need the contractual right to open walls, pull up flooring, or conduct other investigative work that goes beyond surface assessment. Sellers often resist this, which itself tells you something valuable about their confidence in the property's condition. Let me crystallize the 4 critical takeaways that should fundamentally inform how you approach any as-is transaction going forward. First, as-is language transfers legal risk, not just physical condition. You're accepting responsibility for discovery and remediation of all defects except fraud or mandatory disclosure violations. This means your due diligence must be exhaustive, not cursory. Second, the discount you're receiving on purchase price must exceed your risk-adjusted cost of repairs by a significant margin, minimum 30 to 40%, to justify the transaction. If a property needs $80,000 in work and you're getting a $50,000 discount from market value, you're not getting a deal. You're subsidizing the seller's deferred maintenance. Third, specialized inspections aren't optional. They're the minimum threshold for informed decision-making. Every dollar you spend on investigation saves you $10 in undiscovered liabilities. Fourth, your exit strategy must account for worst-case timelines and costs. The difference between sophisticated investors and those who learn through expensive mistakes is planning for downside scenarios while hoping for upside outcomes. If this intelligence has sharpened your decision-making framework and provided you with actionable risk assessment tools. The subscribe button ensures you receive this level of analysis consistently. We're building the most sophisticated real estate risk content available, designed specifically for property owners and investors who understand that information advantage is financial advantage. The like button serves as a signal for what resonates with serious market participants like yourself. It helps us understand which aspects of real estate risk and opportunity deserve deeper examination. Use the comments to share which specific aspects of as-is transactions you want explored next. Your questions directly shape future content and build collective knowledge for this community. Are you encountering particular due diligence challenges? Specific property conditions that concern you? Regional variations in disclosure law? Your input drives what we cover. The analysis you've just received is educational intelligence designed to inform your decision-making process. This content does not establish an attorney-client relationship, does not constitute legal advice, and should not be relied upon as a substitute for consultation with a licensed attorney in your specific jurisdiction. Real estate law, disclosure requirements, and contractual obligations vary significantly by state and municipality. The scenarios discussed represent general principles and common situations, but may not apply to your specific circumstances. Before executing any real estate transaction, especially those involving as-is properties, engage qualified legal counsel licensed to practice in the jurisdiction where the property is located. This content is current as of the recording date, and laws are subject to change.